Good morning, BNI. We are going to succeed anyway. Good morning, I'm Ron Leonard with U.S. Health Advisors in Miami, Florida. I'm also an area director for the Miami-Dade region, and I'm excited, thrilled, and very honored to be here today to share with you my story and how I've grown my business, grown my company with the power and the resources and the tools of BNI. So let's just get right to it, shall we? All right, the title of my presentation is Mediocre or Insane Success. Which one do you want to have in BNI? It's a silly question, right? You need to think about it. Mediocre or insane success? One is easy to do, mediocre. Insane success, it's probably going to be tough. It's probably going to take a lot of plan, probably going to take a lot of effort. It's probably going to take a lot. And you got to decide and make the choice. What do you want? My CEO, Troy McQuigg, says it best. All you need are two things in life to succeed at anything: the right plan and the right amount of effort. And it's simply a matter of choice. It all comes down to choice. You either choose to do it or you choose not to. It's pretty simple. All right. So let's a little bit about me. Graduated high school in 1987 in Atlanta, Georgia. I was born and raised in Boston in New England. Joined the Navy in 1987, where I served on submarines. I was nuclear trained. I did that for 12 years. Thank you very much for all the veterans out there. I'm honored to be amongst that group. And funny story, I actually gave up a 4-year full-paid scholarship to Georgia Tech to join the Navy. And looking back on it, I'm here to tell you I have zero regrets. So served in the military for 12 years. And in the military, you learn the principles and foundations of discipline. All right. And discipline is really key to have any sort of success in anything in life, whether it's basket weaving, the game of BNI, selling health insurance, or being an attorney. All right. You got to have the right mindset. All right. So I got out of the Navy in 1999. And I jumped into the commercial nuclear engineering and radioactive waste industry. Yeah, pretty amazing. I loved it. I still do today. Worked with all the different power plants, nuclear power plants all over this country. There's about 104 of them. Loved my job, had a great job, a great career, very specialized, paid very well. And but I was getting to the point in my life that I realized that I had to keep doing the same thing every day in order to keep receiving the income. So I started in 2015, 2016. I started thinking to myself, you know what, Ron, you got to figure out something different. You got to build something. You got to start something if you really want to be successful in life. And so let's back up a little bit. 2002, that was me. Yeah. Crazy, right? Yeah, that was the old Ron, the old me. Drank a lot, smoked a lot of cigarettes, didn't exercise, wasn't healthy at all. Just kind of going through the motions of life. Really didn't have a lot of passion, didn't have a lot of drive. But I always had that kind of, thought back in my head, Ron, you got to do something with your life. And so along comes 2013. Everybody remembers the terrorist attack at the Boston Marathon in 2013, April of 13. And when I watched that on TV, and me being from Boston, I looked at that TV and said, you know what? I'm going to run in that marathon one day. And I'd never run before at all. Never at all. The only time I ran was if somebody was chasing me. And if that would happen, I ran very, very fast. And so that day I just started running. I'd run a mile a day. And then next thing you know, I'm doing 2 miles a day and 5 miles a day. Next thing you know, I'm doing 15 miles and then 10 miles. And the next thing you know, before COVID, I was running 5-6 marathons every single year. It's simply a matter of choice. You either choose to do it or you choose not to. People ask me all the time, Ron, how do you run 26.2 miles without stopping? I choose to. But right here, you got to have the mental toughness. All right. If your brain doesn't tell your legs to stop running, guess what? They won't. All right. Your legs do not have a mind of their own. This thing right here controls everything. And so take control of your mind and your thoughts, and you can really take control of your life. And so I started running marathons, and I've run about 15, 20 to date. Run Boston twice now. most amazing experience of my life. And I've run New York City a couple times, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Buffalo, Nashville, and I love it. It's a way to stay healthy, and it's really a way to sharpen that mental toughness, and that's really what you need. So along comes 2015, and about this time of my life, I started thinking, Ron, what are you going to do? You know, at this time I was about 46 years old, and I plan on living to 100. And you can if you take care of yourself. There's two things you need to live to 100 years old. One is health, and two is money. And so I started thinking to myself, I got a great job. I got to figure out something I can do, right, that's going to help me make money while I sleep. And I heard Warren Buffett speak, and he changed my life. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. And I don't want to do that. Who wants to be 100 years old and still working? All right. So I knew I had to do something different. So I looked at a bunch of different industries and stumbled upon this company, US Health Advisors. They're a United Healthcare company. And I was very impressed, did my due diligence. And in February, March of 2016, I got my health insurance license. And my journey began in a new industry. I walked away from a very well-paid, highly specialized job and jumped 100% into the health insurance industry. And I have no regrets today, not one. Fast forward about 8 months, December of 16, I decided that I wanted to open up my own office. I wanted to start something from scratch. I wanted to start a business. I wanted to start a company. So I moved to Miami, Florida, the most amazing city on the planet. I guarantee it. I've lived in a lot of cities in this country, Boston, LA, Salt Lake City, Atlanta, lived all at Seattle. And I'm here to tell you guys, Miami is amazing. And I hope you come down here in October of this year for the 2021 National Convention, Global Convention. It's going to be amazing. And I'm excited to host you. So I came down to Miami in December 2016. I did not know one person, and I'd never, ever been here in my life. I made a choice that I was going to succeed. All right. And I had a plan, and I knew I was going to bring the effort. All right. Plan and effort are what you need to succeed in anything in life. BNI's got the right plan, but you got to step up to the plate and bring the effort. All right. So came into Miami, started an office, an office of one person. It was me. My first 2 nights in my new office, my apartment was ready. I actually had to sleep on a mattress in my office until my apartment was ready. All right. I didn't care. I was ready to get after it, and I was ready to build something new. And so fast forward about 6 months. Now we're in June of 2017. And one of my new agents named Alexandra Contos, she had been in this organization called BNI in the past. And she told me about it. She goes, Ron, you really seem to be, a people person. You seem to like people, and you seem like you want to help people. And I think you ought to come visit this BNI chapter. They're having a visitors day. It's the South Beach chapter. And I think you ought to come. I think you might like it. And so she says, hey, it's at 7 a.m., which I don't think is that early. Entrepreneurs, right? We get up every day, we get after it. 7 a.m. is not early. 4 a.m. Okay, that's a tad early, not 7. Okay, nobody complains about BNI at 7, do they? No, I hope not. Anyways, and so I showed up in this meeting, showed up about 15 minutes early, walked around, talked with a few people, introduced myself, sat down in that meeting, and I was blown away. I was blown away. I couldn't believe all these people, about 40 of them, 45 of them, were all getting together every single Wednesday morning to help one another build their businesses. They were talking about all these core values of giver's gain, of building relationships, lifelong learning, traditions, innovations, positive attitude, accountability, recognition. And these are all things that I could relate to because I was doing most of those in my everyday life anyways. And so I said, this is a no-brainer. Anybody who is serious about building their business, BNI is the best vehicle on planet Earth to do that. I heard them talking about thank you for closed business. They were talking about referrals, and they were talking about how great each other was, and they were doing testimonials, and I really didn't know what I was getting into, but I knew I wanted to. So after that meeting, I sat there, I did not leave. I filled out an application that day, paid some money, and the amount of money I paid, right, for my membership is nothing. The return on investment with BNI, guys, is astronomical. Plan and effort. You got to bring the effort, right? You got to get off the bench. You got to get in the game. You got to get in the game of BNI. And so in June 2017, right, what is that? 4 years, 5 years, it began. And my VP at the time, Wayne Grabine, he took me by the hand, gave me this passport to success. I have it right here in front of me. And he told me, guided me, and encouraged me on what I needed to do if I wanted to have an amazing experience in BNI. Talked to me about one-on-ones, told me to start with all the leadership team. I did. I'm a military person. You tell me what to do. If there's a proven system, I'm going to do it. So why some people kind of buck the system, I have no idea. So I started doing my one-to-ones. I started a leadership team, talked about referrals, talked about showing up every week. You know, talked about helping the chapter to grow. And I wanted to contribute to that chapter. And I wanted to be a really productive member of that chapter. And I really knew I could, even though I was new to this big metropolis of Miami, and I really didn't know anybody. but I didn't care. And I did not let that stop me. So that's where my journey began. And so it all starts with this, guys: visibility, credibility, profitability. Okay, Dan Haggerty taught me this. Love you, Dan. If you remember anything, remember these 3 words: visibility. Okay, you've got to be visible in the world today. Don't live in a cave. If you're in a cave, sitting in some cubicle somewhere, but nobody knows who you are, how are you ever going to grow your business? All right. It's better to be the best known than the best at anything. If you're the best at something, but nobody knows you're the best, how does that help you? It doesn't. So you want to strive to be the best known. You want to be so visible. You want everybody, every human being alive today who knows you, to know what you do for a living, and you want them to know who you are. Okay, that's going to jump you into credibility. You got to be credible. You got to be visible. Then you've got to be credible, trustworthy. People got to know they can count on you. And then and only then will you have the opportunity, right, and the option and the choice to jump into profitability. Visibility, credibility, profitability. Make yourself so visible to the world. Make yourself so visible to your BNI members. Make yourself visible to BNI members all over this world. Be credible, right? Be trustworthy, be ethical. And then and only then can you have the opportunity to be profitable. Don't live in a cave. Get out there. Let people see who you are. Let people know who you are. All right. Who's in your room? Thank you, Dr. Ivan Misner. Great book. If you haven't read this book, you need to. Who's in your room? Who's in your life? Who are you letting into your life to mold and shape you? You are only as good as the people you surround yourself with. So take a look around and see who are the 5 people you spend the most time with. All right? Figure that out and then take the average of those 5 people. And guess what? That's you. Okay? Now, if you want a different you, then you need to change the 5 people you're spending most of your time with. If you want to be a millionaire, guess what? Hang around millionaires. If you want to lose weight, guess what? Hang around people who have lost weight. If you want to run, right? Hang around people who do it. Okay. Do not hang around people. Do not surround yourself, people. Do not let people influence you who aren't where you want to be. So who's in your room? And if they're in your room and you don't want them there, open the door, give them a kick in the butt, and bring in somebody new. All right. This, if there's anything that is the magic, the key to BNI, it's this. If you want to have insane success, I'm talking just amazing success in BNI, comes down to the power of 1. Yep, it's the key. All right. Many people think The power of one is what you're trying to achieve. It's that mountaintop. It's that summit. That's the wrong thinking. All right, Gina Harold, thank you very much, Gina. She really opened my mind to this, and she is so spot on. And if I look back to my my BNI journey, the power of one has been so instrumental. All right, and thank you, Colin, for this picture here from the Global Power team. Being green and the power of one, it's not what you're trying to achieve. It's where you start. It's where you begin. It's the floor. It's the bottom. All right. It's the beginning. It's not the end. Okay. If you're thinking the power of one, you're trying to get there. I got to get there. Your thinking is wrong, and you don't have the right mindset for success in BNI. It's where you start. And I'm here to tell you guys, being green in the power of one, to be 100 in the power of one is a piece of cake if you choose to do it. And it's hard if you choose not to. I mean, come on. One referral a week you got to give. How hard is that? You got to do one-to-one a week. Only one. I know some regions have the power of two, the power of three. I think that's brilliant. You got to bring one qualified visitor a month. You got to show up at your meeting every week. Got to be visible. And you got to do one CEU a week. Business builders, there's an app on your phone. It is so simple to do. Most of us drive. It's super easy to listen to a podcast. And so, guys, if you really want to have insane success, amazing success in BNI, you got to be green in the power of one, because that's where it starts. If you're not green in the power of one, then you haven't even begun the journey to have insane success. You are settling to be mediocre. I'm here to tell you, nobody who's listening to this right now is a mediocre person. Nobody in BNI is mediocre. All right. So make the choice. Step up to the plate. You owe it to yourself, your business, and you owe it to your chapter members. It's not difficult if you choose to do it. One visitor a month, one referral a week, one-to-one a week, one CEU a week, and show up at your meeting every week, right? If I have members that aren't showing up at the meeting, they're not very visible. I don't think they're very credible. And I'm probably not going to give them business. So you've got to be visible. You've got to get off the bench. You got to get in the game, right? What's stopping you? Get there, right? Plan and effort. Okay, we have the right plan in BNI, right? Ivan Miser laid it out back in the 80s, right? And it's not difficult, guys. The program, the process that we have in place, the resources, the tools that we have in place through BNI, guys, I'm here to tell you they are magical if you will embrace them and live and breathe them every single day like I do, and it will literally blow your mind. All right, who here wants to have their mind blown? I know I do. So let's get after it. All right, visitors and growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. All right, visitors, right? There's two purposes of visitors in your chapter. One is to be a potential member in your chapter. And the second one is it brings referrals to your chapter. When you bring a visitor to your BNI chapter, you are putting somebody in front of all of your members for those members to market their goods and services to. Visitors, most people think visitors are just to help growth of the chapter, and that is important. One of the biggest things is it brings referrals to your chapter. All right, I want visitors coming to the chapter so that I can market my goods and services to them. And your members do too. We owe it to each other in our chapters to bring visitors. And if you're not bringing visitors, what are you doing, right? I mean, how are you doing in the game of BNI? You know, the power of one is nothing more than your scorecard in the game of BNI. How are you playing it? Are visitors important to you? Are growth important to you? Are you satisfied with a 20-member chapter? Are you kidding me? No. There's chapters all this world that have 100, 150, 200 plus members, and they do insane business with one another. There's chapters in this country, I know them, and they're very content and happy and comfortable being 20 members. I'm here to tell you, if you're comfortable, you're not growing. No growth comes from being comfortable. You need to be uncomfortable. Do something every day that scares you. All right. If you do it enough, it won't scare you anymore. Growth. Chapters got to be growing. All right. You got to grow. And the only way to grow is to bring visitors. Like I was brought to a BNI chapter in June of 17. Bring people, right, into Visitors Day at your local chapter. Let them experience how amazing BNI can be for them and their business. Visitors and growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. All right. And the natural law of attrition, we're going to lose members every now and then. Life gets in the way, life gets busy, personal things happen, and you lose members. And so you're always going to be growing. You always got to have that growth mindset, right? If you don't have the growth mindset, whether you realize it or not, you have the dying mindset. All right. And no one wants to have that. Boom. Insane success. 2016, I had about 4 million in annual sales through my business, my company. And in 5 years of a lot of hard work, wasn't easy. It's grown to 30 million plus. And I'm here to tell you that 50 to 75% of my success and what I do for a living with US Health Advisors has been from BNI. All right. So when I tell you BNI is the most amazing tool today, the most amazing organization, the most amazing platform for you to build your business in an insane way, I'm proving it to you. 4 million to 30 million in 5 years. And how have I done it? The scorecard of BNI, the power of one. I get up every day. I get after it. I'm not lazy. I have a success mindset. It's not always easy, no. There's a lot of self-awareness. You've got to be disciplined. You got to be motivated. You have to sincerely love and care about people. All right. You got to show up at your meetings every week, right? If you can't be there, it better be for a really, really good reason. You got to send a substitute. You got to do at least one referral a week. You got to do at least one one-to-one a week. Bring one visitor a month and do one CEU a week. And it's not hard if you choose to. Success is a choice. You're not born into it. It's something you decide to do. Plan and effort. We've got the plan, guys. It's been laid out for us. We didn't have to make any of this stuff up. All we had to do was follow the program. And then you bring the effort and you'll have amazing success. Here in Miami-Dade, we got about 33 chapters. And I've got agents from my company in about 27 of them. All right. And I pay for all those memberships. All right. So my return on investment with BNI is astronomical, even though I'm not only paying for my membership, but I'm also paying for my agents' memberships as well. So I am very, very financially invested in BNI. I'm here to tell you that the investment that I have made and continue to make is 100% worth it. And I could not imagine, BNI not being a part of my daily life every single day. I love it. I'm grateful for it. And I can't wait to have this continued growth in BNI. And I hope you have that growth too. Boom. It's kind of my catchphrase, right? Anybody who knows me knows I use that a lot. BNI works only if you work it. You got to work it. Get serious about your business and get to work. Get up every day. Get after it. Get serious. A lot of you are just, you're not serious about it. You're just kind of, going through the motions of the game of BNI. You're not serious. Get serious. Get involved in your chapter. Be a productive member of your chapter. If you want referrals, give referrals, right? If you want your chapter to grow, bring visitors. Do your one-on-ones, do your referrals, get involved, get serious, get to work. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Thank you.